All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We are here today. This is like my first time being in person with someone. And so, welcome, Sharon. It's so nice to have you. We are here at the beautiful Twin Peaks Health and Nutrition Wellness Center. How exactly do I say it?
You can call it Twin Peaks Nutrition and Wellness.
There we go.
We're rebranding, so it sounds, I don't even know what to call it. We're here, we want to help, and find us.
Yeah, so we're here in her wonderful space in North Bend, and Sharon has just decades of incredible experience. And we'll just have to post the website so you can just look at all of it. But one of the things that I brought her on today was for the topic of hypnosis, as we do each week. And I have had the pleasure of working with Sharon some as her client, and it's been amazing. And I wanted to, we did a thing called brain dumping. And so I just wanted Sharon to explain more of it. And then she'll go ahead and give us a few minutes of an experience so everyone can just kind of experience that. And then we'll talk about it. So here we go.
Hi, well, thank you so much. This is really fun, and I think the beautiful thing about this platform now is when everybody started, we were all so intimidated, like, how do I look? And is the coloring right? It's like, hey, I'm showing up. How are y'all? Now it's a lot more laid back, and we're all so much more used to it. And I'm really thankful for the opportunity. And I love hypnosis, and I took a training many years ago, and then decided to take another training and became certified as a hypnotherapist and have incorporated into my coaching now for the last 6 years. And to me, it's been the ability to, what I call, remove the veil, allow the opportunity for people just to gently open the veil and reveal the Oz that's behind it, that is really what's inside themselves.
That's a great way to put it. I like that.
Yeah. So you want me to talk to you a little bit about the brain dumping?
Yeah.
So many times, I'm sure you've experienced in life, we've got this monkey brain. It's chatter, 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 chatter. And people come in to a session with this busy mind. And part of the goal of hypnotherapy is to bypass that busy mind and drop down into the subconscious, the RAS system, the reticular activated system of the brain. And when it's chattering at us and we haven't been trained, it can be challenging. And even if you have been trained, it's a fact of life. So brain dumping is the ability to just take a few moments and just spew it out. What are you happy about? What are you sad about? What is just makes you angry? What are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? What do you love about life? What do you hate about life? And just spew it all out and allow the floodgate to drain the swamp, so to speak. And then we can move forward with the ability to tap in to where the truth truly lies. Not all this mind chatter it changes from moment to moment. One moment we can be so happy, and inside we feel this bubbling joy, and within a moment a customer comes in, is complaining, wants to return a product, and I'm like, oh my God, they're always there, but so that's what I love to do with my clients. But on a daily basis, we may not have the opportunity to go through that practice. So I have my clients carry a little notebook with them, and I call it my surrender notebook. And just a moment to jot it down. You have this thought, this emotion, this inability to explain what you're thinking. Just make a quick note, and then later on, with hypnosis or any other practice, you can decide to process that out. And instead of just being Pollyanna about it, which is, I tend to be very Pollyanna. It's like, oh, que sera, sera, kumbaya, my Lord, that type of thing. And when we do that, that gets buried in our cellular memory, and that's not healthy either. It gets buried in our subconscious. So it's an opportunity to release it. I just listened to a novel, and the mom was very Pollyanna. And it just was so intriguing to listen to her, because I heard myself. They would say something about the drunken father. Oh, honey, that's just your father. And oh, honey, he loves you, even though he just beat the shit out of you. It's like, and so it's just a been a beautiful practice for me. And I mean, the long version of it is journaling, right? And a lot of people, but that takes time.
And it takes the remembering of your journal.
Yeah, we just moved. We moved from a house, and I had boxes of journals. I thought, oh my God. And a neighbor picked them up thinking it was garbage. And then I noticed they're missing. I was like, oh my God, who's going to read those? At least when when you dump it out loud, unless there's witnesses, it's gone.
Right. Well, I wanted to just, the reason why I wanted to talk about the brain dumping today with you was that we had a session a couple weeks ago, and, honestly, I was like ready to get to the session, and you were asking me more questions, and I was following your lead because you were the leader. And, and then you just, kind of briefly said, like, I know you want to get to, the full on, session and the hands-on aspect, which I'd love to talk about this time or next time. And, but I just wanted to like let you brain dump, and that was fine. And it just kind of passed on. And then a couple of days ago, I was reminded about the brain dumping, and I was having an experience where my mind was just bothering me. And so it, thank goodness, showed up in my memory, and I thought, okay, this is so great. And so I just let everything, just made a conscious awareness to let everything go out of my mind that was like circling around, and very much in particular, like all the external things that I get throughout the day. I work remotely, I'm on a computer, and then I have social media and text messages. So realistically, the majority of stuff that's like circling around in my brain, it's not even mine. It's just what's been input. And so I thought I just was able to like brain dump. And just as I noticed at these things, I just was like letting them go. And then I actually was doing a cleaning, which is something I've learned with Pete, just let my, just let my imagination go. And there was a spray can of love. So I was like spraying that, and then there was another like spray bottle of, I forgot what it named itself. And, so just really cleaning up and letting the windows out and just letting everything go. And then I felt calmer and calmer. And then pretty soon there I was. There was the piece in there that was needing attention, and I was able to give it attention. So I thought, okay, kind of came full circle with, the that experience for me of remembering that the stuff that is going on inside of you, we have different tools and opportunities to let it go, let it out, clean it out, and let your imagination do the cleaning, like the spray of love. I didn't create that. And the other, spray. So that was my experience with the brain dumping.
And I like to look at it this way. I don't know if you've ever stood on the precipice of a cliff or somewhere you're going to jump into the water, and you're ready to jump, and you're like, oh, I can't quite do it. And so you scoot your butt down to the next lower rock. And somehow that 1 foot that you moved down made the water seem closer, and the ability to jump what seems safer. And that's what I find with clients, especially if they're not familiar with hypnotherapy, or the ability to drop down and access that inner chamber is compromised by this busyness. It's like scooting your butt down on that lower rock, and then all of a sudden it's okay, and then you can go down quicker, safer, deeper, whatever you want to call it. So that's another analogy I like to think about. And when people feel heard, they feel safer. And so hypnotherapy is new to a lot of people, and so to create that container of safety and oh yeah, I just dumped all that, I don't feel so bad, you didn't criticize me, you didn't shame me, you didn't guilt me. And so it creates a safe container, and we can do that for ourselves.
Right.
When we dump, it allows us to just witness and just witness, not label it. Don't say you're a bad girl, a good girl, or you just watch it. And there, like you said, and the imagination, I can imagine that's breaking. I mean, I'm on a trip right with you there now.
I know, right? Yeah, it was super, super fun.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, how about, are you ready to do just a small little demonstration for
Yes.
us? So anyone who's watching live now and for the future watchings, we'll go ahead and just let Sharon put us through a little experience. So.
Yeah. So this isn't hypnosis. It's just an opportunity in your conscious mind to allow yourself to release the monkey brain, as they call it. There's a lot of people right now that are talking about ADD and ADHD and all kinds of little advertisements about how they were able to take their mind captive, their thoughts captive, so to speak, and bring it in so they can process. That's all this is. It's not hypnosis. So let's just take a minute and put your feet on the floor and just take a deep breath. And like you can imagine you're sitting at your computer, take a deep breath. You might have just had a conversation with your mother-in-law. Your husband might not have cleaned the dishes. Your partner's driving you crazy because you keep doing a habit. And your mind is busy, and your boss has been making you angry, and you know that you want to do some deep work. So let's just tell me, what are you happy about? And just take a minute to think about that. Now tell me, what are you angry about? What is just pissing you off? What are you sad about? And in a session, I might have you speak it out loud, and I would say, is there anything else? But we're not going to go deep and take a long time. Just release it. What are you grateful for? What do you dream about? This one may be a little bit more challenging, but tell me, what do you love about yourself? What do you feel shame about? Is there anything else? Now just scan your body right now and see if there's any niggles that are calling to you, any final thoughts that you just want to release. What are you happy about? What are you sad about? What are you angry about? What are you grateful for? What do you love about yourself? What final thing do you just want to release for this moment? Now take another deep breath and come back to the space. And that's it.
All right.
That's simple.
It is that simple.
And you can do it yourself quickly, but in a session with someone, definitely it's opportunity to witness. There's something about, I was thinking about this a lot the other night. There's something about the power of confession, for lack of a better word. In some religions, they have confessional booths. And there is just something about the human psyche that when they can confess it, get it out, there's a release in the soul and in the mind and the overall well-being. So that's another, I believe that's another reason why there's just something very powerful in just confessing it, getting it out there. And sometimes you might say something that, have you ever had people say, I've never told anyone that before, and I'm so glad I just got it off my chest. I was 13 and I drank a 6-pack, and whatever it may be. I've been harboring that. And it's, when you think about it, sometimes it's these things, these little thoughts are the ones that keep us in bondage, and just the confession of it in a safe container is so powerful.
Yeah, and the thing I was thinking about too, when you were saying like sometimes you just need to say it out loud, or even sometimes if you're speaking to even a friend or something. One thing that came up for me is that when you say it, I think it's nice. Sometimes people, will find ourselves just going on and on and on, saying it without the conscious idea of releasing it. And sometimes people we can just stay in our story and stay in our story. So when you were saying that, it was just coming to me that like, as we say it, to release it, or at least have some idea or intention around the idea of, as I'm saying it, I'm letting it out of my body. I'm letting it out of my physical body. I'm letting it out of my physical brain, out of my physical skull, right? Because there are ways, I think, that we can speak and dump, but we're just recycling it like within ourselves. So I just wanted to put that out there too.
And I agree with you so much. And oftentimes in this practice, you'll see that place where you keep bumping up against, oh my God, I'm releasing that again. And that's okay. Don't judge yourself for it. That's a beautiful thing. I just release it, and so in my again, in my practice, I have them have a notebook, and I have them say, if it feels comfortable, I surrender this for now. Because like I said, the other option is to just, I surrender it, bury it, and then in your body it festers and it becomes a manifestation later on in your body. And then you have to do more work to figure out why your body is screaming at you because you didn't listen before.
Listen to the whispers.
Yes.
And just those, making it a really like an effort for that spring cleaning and even just like weekly, if not daily, and hourly if you need to, just knowing that with this simple practice of some of the questions that, that you brought up, and also just paying attention and letting it go out. I mean, let your imagination do its work,
It's beautiful.
You might find the spray of love. You might find that the windows are open. There might be some ass kicking that needs to happen, like some real karate chops to get things out of there. Some things might need to be packaged and like gently sent away. I mean, there's just endless ways, as well as journaling and speaking it out loud or to a friend, just with the intention of not letting it recycle back into your body and really releasing from your body. That's what I get. That's what I get from it.
Absolutely. And another thing I like to do is say, maybe you're not a journaler, you don't want to write it, as I have a couple of other little rituals that I have. For example, a little basket, and I have little tiny strips of paper, and I just write it quick and I throw it in the basket. And then I might go over that basket and smudge it or pray about it. And it might be, I don't know, the world's full of a lot of pain. And I don't know about you, but I hear it in the social media. We get to hear it more and more. It might be, in the olden days, you get a letter, and in 30 days you find out that your uncle in England died, but now it's like constant. So this is a great way for me to release that in whatever you want to call it, prayer or surrender. But it's a little basket, a little vial, and then I feel so peaceful when I walk by it, and I just stop at my little basket, and I release it all to something bigger than me. I'm a part of that bigger, but I'm not the bigger. So,
and it doesn't need to reside in my body, and doesn't need to reside in my brain.
That's so powerful. That brain is definitely powerful. I remember when social media first came about in the form of an email chain. So I remember the big green screen and it's trying to light up. And I was part of a prayer list. And every morning I woke up to hundreds and hundreds of prayer requests from around the world. And my husband says to me, that's not a burden you were meant to carry. Tribally, we could be together, and I have my beautiful network, but now the world is our network. And what do we do with that?
Yeah, it's a great question. Well, at least we can start with some brain dumping.
And that's where I love to start. It's simple, practical, and it works.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I connected in with my little being inside myself, but it took about 10 minutes of like that social media post,
Mhm.
that text, that this, that. Oh, that's not mine. That's not mine either. Wow, all this stuff that's like inside me. It's like something I just picked up from a screen.
Right.
It wasn't even. So anyway, thank you so much today for opening up your space and letting me have a live, like I can touch her. We're not on
Oh,
the
it's
screen.
so nice.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So anyone who is in the Seattle area, or you definitely should come and check out her wonderful spot. And you can find, what is your website?
Well, you can, Twin Peaks NW is the wellness center, and then my coaching is SharonMaureen.com.
Yes, great. And so, as always, you can always find us on all the social media platforms, ask us any questions. And thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thanks. It's an honor. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, right on. Okay, bye for now, everybody. Ciao.